Hi, welcome back. Figure 7 question 3b. This particular question would make you exercise uh, the creating a work plane at an angle. Okay, so we've learned how to create a work plane and offset it, all right, parallel to its reference plane by a distance. But now we want to create a work plane at an angle so that we can create features like this. Okay, and we are also going to extrude the feature and have it down. Now this one here is a blind hole, and as you can see, there is an angle over here, all right, the triangle over here. So we need to have that done using the hole function. Then there is a slot with an emboss and a radius, okay, that goes all around it. Okay, what's the radius? The radius is r3. r3. So this is a 12 millimeter slot, therefore the radius is 6, right? The radius is 6, and the outer radius is 24. Goes all the way through. Okay, new matrix standard, create. Then I'm just going to save the file name first. File save as figure 7 question 3b. Okay, and I'm going to draw my front view from this end. um, I'm going to approach this problem by drawing it in an L shape. My starting point is here. I'll go up by 65 and 125 across, then 20 down. Okay, 20 down. So let's start off here. Here, go up vertically by 65 millimeters. All right. Then horizontally, I'll go up to 125. Then I'll go down by 20. All right. Then I'll continue the sketch from here, this bottom here, and it's going down by 20, going across by 20, and I'll go up, and I want it to be matching this line. So what I'll do is I'll move up, click here, and across. There. So fully constrained, I'm ready to extrude. And this time around, I will extrude it both ways. Okay, both ways. And I'll extrude it to a length of, the width is 80 millimeters. Can you see? It's 80 millimeters here. Extrude to a length of 80 millimeters. I'll just do that. Enter. Right. Now I'm gonna demonstrate the angled work plane first. So what happens is that I will create a work plane, angle to plane around the edge. Okay, so this edge with reference to this surface, and it is going to be 45. All right. Okay, hang on for a second. Let me try it again. Zoom in, reference to this edge, to this surface, and 45 degrees. Okay. It's not going according to the angle that I want. So what I'll do is that I'll plus it by 180 degrees, and it will be 100 and, or I'll try 135 this end, right? Then I'll click yes. 90 plus 45, right? It's 135. Then what I'll do is I'll create sketch on this work plate, right? And it's just so nice that it's centralized. And what I'll do is I will project geometry. I can project the whole area, or I can just select this line, right? And I have a projected geometry. Okay, and I'll click a circle, and the radius of that circle is, the radius of the circle is 25 and it's offset by 30, right? Radius of the circle is 25, so diameter is 50. And then what I'll do is I'll centralize it. hang on for a second. Yes, I'll centralize it, and then it is offset by 30 millimeters. 30. So there, it's fully constrained. Then what I'm doing is, oops, I finished my sketch too early. Next is the line command, and I'm switching out to here. I'm going all the way down till it hits the yellow line. Alright, so that's fully constrained. Click here, all the way down, and that's fully constrained as well. Okay, and I'll need to trim. I'll trim the inner side of it. Okay, so with this I can extrude and I'll extrude to this surface. And if you notice, if you extrude by a distance, you will have to deal with something that's popping out at the bottom, and that's very troublesome. And if you change the distance to a shorter distance, you won't be able to, you may solve the bit at the problem, but you won't be able to have a full extrusion. So a way to do this is to extrude to next, and you extrude to this surface. And what it will do is that you'll extrude to this surface, and it'll be a very clean surface, right? Now the next thing I'm going to do is, since I have the work plane here, okay, if you don't like the work plane, you can turn off the visibility since you already have a feature there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a point, move my mouse to the edge here, and the center pops up. I'll click here. All right. Then I will use the hole feature. Okay, and it has no seat. It is a hole, and this is going to be a blind hole. Okay, blind hole, and the diameter of the hole. See, the diameter of the hole is 25, and the depth of it is 30. Okay, diameter is 25, 25. 5, and the depth is 30 millimeters. Okay, then I click OK. So I have a hole, and how do you know that there is a conical shape there? Well, I move over to the side, go to my view, and I can change the view to a wireframe, and I can see that yes, I have my nice little triangle placed out there. Okay, so I change my view style to shaded with edges again. What am I going to deal with next? Let's see. We have the two radius 25, right? Radius 25, and they have two circles, 30 center, which means that from this edge to this edge is 15. 15 plus 25, right? 15 plus 25, 30, 40. So the width is 40. So what this tells you actually is that um, that the circle is sharing the same center as the radius R25. Okay, you can presume that. So another way to check, you checked in the y-axis, you can also check in the x-axis. Okay, the whole entire length of it is 125, so that this shares the same center as well in the y-axis and the y-axis. So I'm going to create my fillet first at R25. So I go to 3D model, fillet radius, and the fillet radius is 25, and I'll select this corner followed by this corner, and I click OK. Right. Next, I will create a sketch plane. Click on this, then zoom in using the points. I'm going to place 2 points. Move my mouse close to the circumference. The dot pops up. Pop the point here. Move the mouse close to this circumference. Then the dot pops out, so I get this. Okay. Then I'm going to create the hole, and I have 2 holes, and it's going to be a true hole. And the diameter of the hole is, let's check, 2 times diameter 16, so they are diameter 16 holes. So I can change this value to 16 millimeters, and I click OK. Right, let's check the drawing. What have we have left? The bottom is also R25. Okay, so the bottom is also R25, and if you look at R25, right, the distance is 42 millimeters, 54 millimeters, so we can zoom in on this. Right, it says 40, 50, 60. So what happens is that the center of this slot shares the center of the R25 as well. How do I know? Because it is 40 mm from the top edge to the center, and the total length is 65. So 40 minus 65 is 25, and that's the radius over here. So they share the same radius. You can check. Okay, 42, the distance 42, 54. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to create the R25. Now, since you've already created an R25 and they share the same radius, I'm going to edit feature here. And what I'll do is I will add on the radius for the other side as well, since they both share R25. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to sketch. Okay, and what I'll do is I will project geometry, the whole entire geometry, so that these two dots can come out. And then I will, let's see from the drawing. The two dots come out, they share the same center, and the radius is 6. The radius is 6 because this is 12 millimeters. So I'll draw, or I know what I'll draw. I'll draw the outer one first. Okay, the radius is 12. Radius is 12. So I'll draw the outer one first. Okay, so what I'll do is I will create a slot. I'll select this point and this point, and I'll increase it. And then the radius here is 12. Okay, and just to check, I wonder if I can. Oh, didn't allow me to select the edge. Then I will extrude this surface. Sorry, that's a revolve command. I'm supposed to extrude this surface, and I will be extruding it to a distance of did they specify the thickness? Yes, 8 millimeters, and there is a radius 3 around. Okay, so I'm going to extrude by 8 millimeters. Okay, and then there is an all-round fillet of 3 millimeters. I'm going to select this all-round by 3 millimeters, and the next thing I'm going to create is the slot on this side, right? Instead of drawing a slot, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to project geometry, right? And then I'm going to do an offset. Yes, there is this command that we used in AutoCAD, and I've yet to use it here in Inventor. Okay, so it's an offset command. I can offset the distance, and I can specify this distance here, and it is fully constrained. So if I were to put 6, right, I'll get this. I just want to confirm if it's 6, right? That's because the radius to here is 6, right? Plus another 6 is 12, so therefore you get a 24 width. So this thickness is 6 millimeters. Okay, this thickness here is 6 millimeters. So I can do an offset of 6 millimeters, and I have a slot. Now with that slot, I'm going to extrude it, but I'm not going to extrude a solid. I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to cut it through all, and I click OK, right? And do a quick check on the part. If you are missing out any feature, check on the drawing. Yes, I've got most of the features drawn out, and once you're good, you can save your file. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative.